What does receiving the Governor General's Performing Arts Award mean to you?
Well, it means a lot to me. I mean, I'm so proud of my country. I think there's no time that I ever express or describe who I am without using the word Canadian. To be given the honor and to look 3 seats down and to see Michael J. Fox, who was also a Burnaby boy, so overwhelming. You know, this was a hero. This was someone who, you know, you would hear stories about, and my second grade teacher knew his mom, and my grandfather went to school with his mother, and so you would always hear about, you know, oh my gosh, you know, Michael J. Fox, and you think, wow, if Michael could do it, you know, maybe I could do it. My first gig was actually, one of my first gigs was a place called the Arts Club. And last night in Michael's speech, he actually thanked Bill Millard, the artistic director of the Arts Club, who gave me my first job. That's who gave him his first job. So really, really, really very cool to sort of have that circle come together.
Well, what is the advice you would give to a young performer who's aspiring to greatness? What would you tell them?
What advice would I give? I remember being a young kid meeting Tony Bennett for the first time. I remember Tony Bennett said to me, he said, you know, Michael, you better lose yourself in the music, the moment. You want it. You better never let it go. You only get one chance. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. No, that was Eminem that did. That wasn't Tony Bennett at all.
Didn't sound like
I'm so sorry. But I love Eminem a lot too. Him and Tony should totally do a duets record. The greatest advice was to be yourself. And the people that I loved most and respected most, even coming up, you know, with people like Jan Arden and Bryan Adams, they would say to me, you know, lead. You know, to be trendy is, you know, you might feel cool. You know, everybody thinks it feels cool to be trendy, but trends are meant to be followed. And don't be a follower, don't be late, be the first one. Create your own lane. David Foster would say it all the time. Kid, create your own lane. You have a chance to create your own lane. Be yourself, don't be afraid, and let them follow.
Tell me about your big break.
Which one?
Well, I think it wasn't the Mickey Bubbles one, I don't think. I don't think that was happening.
I think the big break that you're talking about is the one that most people know, and that was the fact that I had met a man named Michael McSweeney here. He was in Ottawa, and he had worked with the Honorable Brian Mulroney, and they had asked me if I would sing at the Caroline Mulroney's wedding, and they told me that David Foster would be there, and of course, I mean, this was huge. I mean, what an opportunity. And I remember, it's funny, I saw David a few days ago, and I told him, but you know, for him, he's had so many of these things happen that he doesn't really, he sort of remembers. He remembers the song I sang, but I stepped on stage and I was singing Mac the Knife, and the Honorable Brian Mulroney had David's head in kind of like a half headlock. And he was, I could see him saying like, look at this kid, isn't this phenomenal? And that really would set me in motion, you know, after 10 years of trying to get into record companies and trying to knock the door down and having so many people saying the same thing over and over, which was, you're a really talented kid and likable, but we just don't see a monetary future in this. And I think that Brian put the pressure on David, and I think David saw it, and a week later, there I would be in Las Vegas going to meet Paul Anka, and who's still a friend and an idol, and I would be ushered in and held in the arms of these Canadians that are so treasured, and they would bring the gravitas that would finally help people, you know, understand what I had been trying to put across for so many years.
Well, they created
it was an overnight 12-year success.
There you go.
Yeah.